Start. Soumya, start.
Okay. I'd like to welcome students of School of Scholars Hukkeshwar, Ms. Anushri Karande and Ms. Apurva Vaidya to present their research paper.
First of all, are we audible?
You are
Yes.
audible.
Okay. Are we visible clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Share the screen. Our screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. Can we start?
Yes, please.
Good morning, all. I Apurva from class 9 and I Anushri from class 7. And today we are talking on effective lifestyle changes to boost immunity. Our lifestyle affects on our immune system. Our immune system helps us to fight against many diseases. If lifestyle is unhealthy, it will affect our immune system. Our main hypothesis is a healthy lifestyle naturally keeps the immunity strong. Introduction. The immune is precisely that a system, not a single entity. To function well, it requires balance and harmony. There are still much researchers that don't know about the interconnectedness of immune response. Here are some list of points showing lifestyle categories which affects on immune system, that are nutrition, physical activity, sleep. These all plays role in boosting our immunity. Yeah, here are also the stress. The people are more subjective and impressive towards the amount of stress. We can only measure the things that may reflect the stress. So despite these challenges, we are now focusing on the relation between the stress and immune system. Let us understand why the habits are so hard to break. It's all to do with our built-in reward mechanism, shaping our daily life activities and even what we feel about ourselves. Habit can either break you or make you. Here is the research design. In this, we have studied the role of lifestyle on immune system and made the questionnaire and collected 30 samples of different types of people. In the questionnaire, 8 questions are of the lifestyle status. So if we are getting 6 negative responses out of 8, we are considering it as a bad immunity status. If we are getting 4 negative responses from the 8, we are considering it as moderate lifestyle status. And if we are getting 1 or 2 negative responses, so we are considering it as good lifestyle status. So these are the observations, and we have observed that 63% of people are having healthy lifestyle, 20% of people are having moderate lifestyle, and 17 are having bad lifestyle. This table represents number of people and their lifestyle status. According to lifestyle status, we have observed immunity status and observed that most of the people who are having good lifestyle, they also have good immunity. Similarly, those who have moderate lifestyle, they have moderate immunity, and those who are having bad lifestyle, they have bad immunity. COVID-19 pandemic effect on general lifestyle. Healthy living strategies make sense since likely help to function and come with other proven problems. Benefits. And now, if we talk about marginally, we are getting adapted to these types of conditions. So now the people are getting improved in their healthy well-being habits and now focusing on their immune system too. This graph represents the general comparison of COVID-19 pandemic effect on effective lifestyle that may result in bad immunity. There were some errors during our research, like due to COVID-19 pandemic situation, collection of majority questionnaire response were restricted. We collected it through phone calls. Some questionnaire responded were not giving the correct information for questions. Conclusion. From the study, we have concluded that every part of body, including our immune system, better when protected from the environmental assault and bolstered by healthy living strategies. The idea of boosting our immunity is enticing, but the ability to do so has proved elusive for several reasons. To function well, it required balance and harmony, and that would be possible if our lifestyle is better. And we have also observed that due to COVID-19 pandemic, the people or the lifestyle of the peoples is getting more improved. Like the people are daily exercising, they are taking day-to-day medicines according to their treatment. They are getting vaccinated from the several types of disease. So due to COVID-19, people health and immune system get improved. We have referred these website and health and nutrition magazine. Thank you.
Now the floor is open to questions by the keynote speakers.
Hey, hi Apurva and Anushri. Can you
Hi,
hear me?
sir.
Hey, first of all, I want to appreciate and congratulate you. At this age, you are, getting involved into research, which is data-driven. Really appreciate that, and congratulations to both of you. So it was a great presentation. I have one specific question. You have mentioned, so your presentation was more about correlation between lifestyle and immunity.
Yes.
So first you collected data where you figured out the percentage of people who are having healthy, moderate, and bad lifestyle, and then you correlated that with immunity. So how did you measure the immunity? Because lifestyle, you have the questionnaire where you figured out 63% were having a healthy lifestyle, and then it exactly matched, or more or less exactly matched, to 63% people having a high immunity. So how did you, in your research or when you were collecting this data, how did you measure the immunity? Was there in a questionnaire or something else?
No, sir. We have prepared the questionnaire, and your question is that how we measures that is negative and positive. Yes. So we have several parameters, like if the people are taking advocated sleep of every person should take 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If they are taking, so that will come in positive. If they were not, if they are not taking, so they will come in negative. And also we are having decline in work. Are they are having financial issues or some other issues? Are their health is good or not? Are they smoking, drinking, or having any addictions? So from these several parameters, we have identified it is negative or the positive.
Right. So that is on the health side, lifestyle side, whether lifestyle is positive or negative. But then you correlated that to the immunity side as well. So my main question was about how did you get these numbers for immunity? Lifestyle, I got it. So let's say you give 5 questions, whether you smoke, yes or no. Whether
Sorry,
you have
so your question is not clear.
Okay, so there are maybe I'll try to just say reiterate. So there are two main things in your presentation. One is the lifestyle index that you're calculating, whether you are healthy, moderate, good, or bad.
Yes.
And then you have a second set of data where you are calculating immunity, whether your immunity is good, moderate, or bad. Right. So health part is clear that you ask few questions and based on that you calculated.
Yes.
Immunity part is not clear. How did you come up with the immunity number? That's what I asked. Is it clear or you need some more clarification?
We have asked them question like you have ever suffered from the COVID-19 and you have some diseases like diabetes, blood pressure problem, and did you get indigestion problem and all.
Got it. That explains. Thank you. So that exactly gives you whether immunity was good, bad, or
yeah.
Thank you.
So that's it.
Yeah, from my side.
Yeah. So congratulations, Team Udkeshwar. A very nice presentation, and I really loved your confidence while you were presenting it. at such an early stage, this type of confidence is highly appreciable. Thank you so much for that presentation. I just have to add to what Akshay asked you, the immunity question. Of course, I also had that how you all measured the immunity, on what basis did you ever design the questionnaire for correlating the lifestyle and the immunity factors also. I feel that even if we could design a questionnaire with certain points, how often you are affected by the cough and cold, that kind of questionnaire would have been more I think more specific results would have been there. But yes, your efforts were very good. I just want to ask you one more question. When you had given the questionnaire to people, did you compartmentalize the people as per their age, or it was a general, I mean, was there any age brackets?
Yes, we have generally we have done, but we have not taken only the common people. We have taken the sports person, we have taken the regular office going person, and old person, the students, or the students, and all of that.
Okay, so you had a entire gamut of people in different age groups.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. All right.
Just
one. That.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, Akshay. Carry on.
Just one ending comment on a lighter note. Out of all those questionnaires which you gave positive point, how many of those points are you applying in your daily life? I hope you are applying almost all of them.
Yes, sir.
So we have a healthy India and healthy youngsters coming up and aware citizens. So I think with this questionnaire and with this research and with this talking around with people, you must have understood so many things about how to keep yourself away from such contagious diseases and to build up your own immunity. Yes. So that must have been one of the positive things of your research, which would benefit you as a person also.
Yeah, before COVID-19, we do not used to, but now we are aware about this.
Yes. So I think it's time for you all to spread the awareness about a good lifestyle and building up a good immunity. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure hearing you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, participants.
Now I would like to call the students of School of Scholars, Vana Dongri, Mrs. Krutika Chandanao and Swanandi Palsokar to present their research papers.
Is our screen visible?
Yes.
Yes. Please carry on. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Shall we start?
Yes.
Science may set limitations to your knowledge, but shall never set limitations to your imagination. And with this, good morning to one and all present here. Myself, Swanandi Palsokar, and myself, Krutika Chandanao. And today we are here with our presentation on the title COVID-19 vaccines, Covaxin and Covishield. The end is here, and here we resume. Moving ahead with the content. So the hypothesis is to show effectiveness and detailed information of the vaccines, and the objective is to provide detailed information of vaccines and the contents of vaccines to show the effectiveness and to create awareness. Now we shall introduce you all with both of these vaccines. Firstly, Covaxin. So Covaxin is the indigenous inactivated vaccine developed using whole virion inactivated SARS-CoV-2 antigen. It is included along with immune potentiators, which are also known as vaccine adjuvants, which are added to the vaccine to boost its immunogenicity. It has 2 doses which are given 28 days apart. It was made by Bharat Biotech, and Bharat Biotech applied to DCGI seeking emergency use authorization on 6 December 2020. 2020. On 2nd January 2021, the CDSCO recommended the permission, which was granted the next day.
Talking about Covishield, it is made from the virus CHAdenoX1 and it is a weakened version of a common cold adenovirus. In January 2021, DCGI granted an emergency use which was approved for Covishield vaccine in India. And on 16 January, India administered its first successful dose of Covishield. On February 15, the WHO recommended Serum Institute's Covishield vaccine. Covishield is the most commonly used vaccine for the COVID-19 and is manufactured by the Serum Institute of India in collaboration with Oxford University's AstraZeneca company. On the screen, we can have its chemical and code name. Talking about the contents of the vaccines.
Covaxin includes whole virion inactivated SARS-CoV-2 antigen, agonist, and phosphate buffer saline.
One dose, which is equal to 0.5 ml of Covishield vaccine, has these many number of 5 into 10 to the power 10 virus particles. It has COV2 spike glycoprotein, and the further ingredients are magnesium chloride hexahydrate, ethanol, sodium chloride, and etc. Kritika, do you know the most important part is the working of these vaccines in our body? So let us see how these vaccines work.
Covaxin works by teaching the immune system to make antibodies against SARS-CoV-2 antigen or coronavirus, and it teaches the immune system to protect against the disease. Once the body produces antigen-specific antibodies, it also creates antibodies producing memory cells which remain alive even after the pathogen is defeated. Once the body is exposed to the same pathogen again more than once, the memory cells get activated and antibodies are produced to protect against the disease.
Talking about Covishield, it is given to us through an intramuscular injection only and preferably in the deltoid muscle. 2 doses separate each of 0.5 ml are given. Covishield is a vector vaccine, and once our cells display spike protein on the surfaces, our immune system responds, and hence it creates antibodies and defensive white blood cells. Now let us see how efficient these vaccines are.
Covaxin has an efficacy rate of 95% against the severe COVID-19, and it is said that it is 79% effective against symptomatic coronavirus and 64% against the asymptomatic coronavirus.
Covishield has shown its efficiency rate up to 91% to 93%, and also it showed a significant 70.4% effectiveness against SARS-CoV-2 infection.
Around 95% of people are partially vaccinated in India, and 75% of people are fully vaccinated. And there are total 1,12,500 vaccination camps in India.
Amongst which 1,10,000 are government vaccination camps and 2,500 are private vaccination camps.
Totally, 146 crore people are vaccinated with Covishield, whereas 26 crore people are vaccinated with Covaxin. We have done a survey for you. You can have a look at it. 60% of people had taken Covishield, whereas 40% have been with Covaxin.
80% of the people have taken both the doses of their vaccine, whereas 20% of the people are partially vaccinated.
60% of people didn't find any symptoms after their first dose. However, 40% of them did find some symptoms.
And the second dose turned out to be a successful one, as no one from the survey found the symptoms. So here we are with our conclusion. We conclude that the pandemic caused a lot of damage to people's life, but there is a hope and positivity because of vaccines. Vaccination is the most effective means to prevent infectious diseases.
If you are already vaccinated, thank you for stepping up. If you are not, please make the time, roll up your sleeves and get your shot.
Thank you.
Now the floor is open for the questions to the keynote speakers.
Ma'am, you want to go first?
Yeah, you carry on. You
Okay.
take it up. No issues.
A great presentation, Kritika and Swanandi.
Thank you, sir.
Very great presentation skills. I really want to highlight that the confidence that you had while speaking. It was really great.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I have one question, which is, I think, still in research phase, but you spoke about the second dose, right? And now with the new variants coming in, there is talk about mixing and matching various vaccines. So there are a few research papers which talks about, let's say, first dose was Covishield and second dose is Covaxin, or first, or the other way around. Or if you have taken 2 doses of Covishield and you take Covaxin. So the basic difference is, one is, as you mentioned, one is a inactivated virus, which is Covaxin, and which is a very old technology, right? All our, I mean, the kids, all the vaccination that happens is all inactivated. That's why it's very safe. It's like just a dead virus. But this Covishield and Moderna, Pfizer, these are all mRNA based vaccines, which are like new technology, where you just inject RNA of a part of a protein, and then your body makes that spike protein, and then the immunity is built. So have you done any research about mixing of these vaccines, or read about research, not done research? I don't think we can do it, but have you read about anything when you were making this presentation or when you were working on this? Have you read about this thing of mixing and matching of mRNA and inactivated vaccine, and what are the results, preliminary results, if you know about it?
Sir, we have heard about specifically, but not yet we have read about them combined.
Okay.
But surely we'll try to read it.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So Swanandi and Kritika, a very well-researched presentation, a lot of literature review you have done and taken out the facts and presented it in a very precise manner. Congratulations to both of you. Like Akshay mentioned about the combination of both of these vaccines together. So when you were doing the, when you were kind of asking, or maybe questionnaire was there for people wherein you gathered the data about how many of you have been vaccinated, what was the effect of first dose, the second dose. There, I think one question could have been whether anybody has taken a combination of Covishield and Covax together, and what is the outcome, because I know people who have taken both the doses of both the vaccines, right? So, so there are people, and maybe you could also go one step further whenever you have time to continue with your this small research project, that bring in an awareness towards the entire society, so as to make a kind of cohesive unit in the society where everybody is helping everyone to educate about the vaccinations, and the vaccinations are used in an effective way. A person taking 4 doses of vaccination, what difference is it going to make on him when the person is taking only 2 doses of vaccination? So I think people need to be educated on the optimum utilization of the resources which are available to us. So this was on a lighter note, but yes, you had done an extensive research, and it was a very informative research-based activity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, and surely we'll work on your suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you, participants. Now I'd like to call upon students from School of Scholars Atrey Layout, Master Aditya Dandre, to present his research paper.
Ma'am, firstly, I would like to ask that is my PPT visible, and am I visible to you?
Your PPT is very well visible, Aditya.
Okay, ma'am.
Good
morning to all the respected chief guest, principal, teacher, and all my dear friends. I am Aditya Dangre in 8th grade from School of Scholar Atrey Layout School. Today, I am going to present on the topic, the saga of virtual life and digitalization. In this presentation, we would be mainly focusing on these all subtopics. We know in modern times, virtual reality and cyberspace appear to provide a really impressive and beneficial way of life. The most advanced ICT, that is information and communication technology, are at hand now. There have never been a greater enhancement in any field with a bigger effect on society and culture than ICT. The effect of internet have been of great importance since the individual can run errands anytime and anywhere. As a result, on the one hand, the set of values and activities of traditional world have shifted towards the digital culture. On the other hand, the technical development have tripled the life expenses. Hypothesis. A virtual world is a computer simulated environment which may be populated by many users who can create a personal avatar and simultaneously and independently explore the virtual world. Digitalization is very important for data processing, storage, transmission, that it allows information to intermingle and to be carried out with the same efficiency. Now let us see the new learning environment and a new way of life. Our learning environment has altered in the past few years. The rapid technical and technological development changed the learning environment, which results in the expansion of digital learning and in parallel changed learning forms and fundamental theories. The image illustrates the shift in learning environment as the traditional environment transformed into a digital network-based one. Now, let us see the role played by virtual reality in today's society. The aim of virtual reality is to simulate the user's sense in a way that is equal or to closest to them. Augmented reality or AR is the technology for expanding the real physical environment with virtual element. According to the latest statistic, the number of virtual reality users has reached to 135 million worldwide by 2020. Consequently, it seems that virtual reality will become inevitable in the future. Now let us see some of the virtual and digital devices used for learning. Learning and teaching progress can be made more experience-like as opposed to the traditional method. The QR code uses a two-dimensional coding algorithm. QR is an abbreviation for quick response. The QR code is perfect tool for coding URL links, telephone number, text message, business card, and short 160-character messages. For an educational point of view, it could manage a website of learning material or lecture note in a pictorial form. One of the newly developed aims to visualize Facebook is called Facebook Oculus. Besides this Facebook Oculus Rift, many manufacturers offer virtual reality headset like the HTC Vive or Google Cardboard. Now let us see some of the main difference between augmented reality, that is AR, and virtual reality, that is VR. Augmented reality is the mix of real world and virtual world, but virtual reality creates an entire virtual world. Augmented reality lets people interact with both the world and distinguish clearly between the both. But in case of virtual reality, it is hard to differentiate between what is real and what is not real. Augmented reality is generally achieved by holding a smartphone in front of you, but virtual reality is generally achieved by wearing a digital helmet or goggle. Now let us see the impact of digital surge during COVID-19 pandemic. In COVID-19 pandemic, people and organizations all over the world have had to adjust the new way of work and life. As the use of video and audio conferencing tool increased significantly, organizations ramped up their technology infrastructure to account for the surge. This led to increased investment in bandwidth expansion and other network equipments. The graph below shows the use of digital and virtual technology used by total number of people in the world. The virtual technology has been increased in the year 2020 due to COVID-19 pandemic. Now, some of the surveys about the use of virtual and digital devices. The first survey tells us about the proportion of smartphone owners. This indicates that 92% of the surveyed students own smartphone, which they keep in their pocket during every lecture, seminar, or laboratory practices. And the second survey tells us about the attitude to the mobile phone application download. The answer suggests that 27 responses, that is 55%, occasionally download the application, while 31% of them do so usually. Only 14% said that they are opposed to this idea. Now, let us make a conclusion. Today's statistic data concerning the digital era as well as the openness of the digital generation to modern digital and virtual system are key indicators of potential opportunities. Cyberspace offers a promising and beneficial way of life to digital citizen in both public life and learning. These are some of the references through which I was able to collect the data and present in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you, participant. Now the floor is open to questions by the keynote speakers.
Thank you, Aditya. You are in 8th grade and the confidence that you have, I mean, I really envy you. Really great to see. And you are from Atrey layout, so I am also an alumnus of, that time it was VTC. So VTC Atrey layout.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, one very interesting comment you made, that almost all of the kids nowadays have a smartphone in their pockets during lecture and practicals as well. I hope you don't do that because there are teachers here in the session. So
yes.
Yeah. Okay, I think this is a very interesting topic, and since I am from computer science background, I mean, this is very interesting to me. And I feel that internet is one of the greatest inventions of 20th century and being used in 21st century. This virtual reality, as you mentioned, right? There are two aspects, augmented and virtual reality. So virtual reality, have you, when you were researching, did you look at any particular gadgets that are there in the market which are available to end users, which people can use or consume easily as respect to what is there in the research? Anything that you have heard of or at least you have read about?
Yes, sir. To take the experience of virtual reality, as I mentioned in the presentation, we need that digital goggles, and one example, one good example of that is the Facebook Oculus. And beside that, there is one more Google Cardboard that also gives us experience of virtual reality.
Nice. Yeah, thanks. I mean, this is really great to see you're able to absorb the question so quickly and give a very appropriate answer. Thank you and best of luck. I think you will do very well in future. Yeah, in your career. Thank you.
So thank you, Aditya, for giving us such a elaborate insight into your topic, which was related to virtual reality and augmented reality. So when you were doing this research and this form of technology support in the field of education has also come into our lives with a great quantum. It is there with us, and I think it is there. It's going to be there with us for a long, I mean, maybe as a permanent feature of our entire teaching learning process. You kids who are going to grow up, maybe you are going to do wonders with this technology support, which you all would be getting, because a lot of research is still going on. So when you were talking to the students, when you did the survey, students having smartphones in their pocket, kids downloading it, usually, normally, never, all that questionnaire. So did you ask the students that what is the impact on their learning with this augmented reality coming in? Are they using it to what extent they are using it for their self-learning, or have they used it as a learning tool for themselves?
Yes, I asked some my classmate only, as during this COVID-19 pandemic, that this technology was very helpful. So they said me that this technology or internet was very helpful, and we were able to get the education.
So what was everybody was very positive about it, right?
Yes, and some only some minimum students, almost we can say not, they only are opposed to this idea, means internet is not good. They are. Okay.
So I mean, yes, we do have so many positive effects of internet, that is also, I think, enhancing your learning, because there are so many things which a child may not be able to visualize with just the help of books, but technology, augmented reality, virtual reality is helping people to visualize the things and understand it better. So it was a real great insight into this topic which you had taken up. Good amount of research and a very well presented paper. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now I would like to call the students of School of Scholars, Hudkeshwar, Master Parth Khobragade and Miss Apurva Sable to present their research papers.
Are we visible and audible clearly?
Yeah, you are visible, you are audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Apurva Nitin Sable from class 9.
And myself, Pajram Khobragade from class 7.
Our topic is Save the Earth Coronavirus Pandemic Warning.
And our subtopic is drastic increase in organic waste during COVID-19 pandemic.
COVID-19 creates organic waste mountains that threaten the environment, and drastic increase in organic waste during COVID-19 pandemic. If organic waste won't be reduced, then we will be facing many environmental problems during and after the pandemic. We know that COVID-19 has adversely affected many economies and nearly brought them down. But is there any impact of this pandemic on agriculture sector, organic waste or household waste? This study aims at assessing the impact of COVID-19 on organic waste. Our experiment tested the problems faced by agricultural sector, problems of farmers, amount of food waste coming out of homes before and after the pandemic.
Introduction and statement of problem. First of all, what is organic waste? Any material that is biodegradable and can be decomposed by microorganisms or comes from animal or plants is known as organic waste.
But the problem is rotting of organic waste in landfills due to lack of oxygen undergoes anaerobic decomposition and generates methane. Methane is a harmful greenhouse gas that is 25 times more harmful than carbon dioxide. Decaying garbage produces weak acidic chemicals that combine with waste to form leachate and landfill gases. Leachate is highly toxic and can pollute land, groundwater, soil, and waterways. Also, burning of garbage releases carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, and sulfur dioxide. In India, 6% of methane emission is only from garbage. Problems faced by health seekers' family, human health are even more dangerous. Food is going to dustbin without getting consumed. On the other hand, a severe hunger crisis still looms in large part of the country. We collected data, and this graph shows the methane emissions in atmosphere.
This bar graph shows the increase of organic waste in India.
The sources of data are: the data is collected from media, Google, newspaper, official documents and websites, blogs, and other reference books. The survey was conducted through Google Forms and Google Meet.
We reached out to 20 families and asked them about their eating habits and before and during the pandemic.
They were asked about any type of change in organic waste production from their house. We also tried to reach out some farmers to know about the problems faced by them and see if there is any increase in organic waste. From our survey, we found out that majority of families reported that there has been a significant rise in organic waste from kitchens. They preferred stockpiling of excessive goods, which eventually ended up in dustbins. Some families reported that they preferred to buy less.
When asked about the reasons in increase, they replied, because of being at home all the time, there has been a change in eating habits.
Recommendation. First of all, how we can stop the production of organic waste. The ways to stop the production of organic waste are animal feeding, composting, rapid thermophilic digestion, immobilized enzyme reaction. Let's see what is rapid thermophilic digestion. Process of rapid fermentation of organic waste by activating fermenting microorganisms at high temperatures. Now let's see immobilized enzyme reaction. The use of immobilized enzymes during organic waste recycling allow the degradation activity even under non-ideal situation.
COVID-19 has given us a chance to step back and assess our impact on environment. Lockdown improved quality of air, water, and made cities livable. We should make commitment to install principles of sustainable development in our behavior, lifestyle, and public policy. These are some references which we used. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Apurva and Par. I think your content was very good. The way the breadth and depth of data that you had, or at least it shows the research that you have done is really commendable. I have one question on the end part where you gave some recommendation. So the fermentation one and the other enzyme recommendation look to be, I mean, we are looking at a problem at household level. So are those two recommendations practically possible at the household level? Did you guys look into how they can be implemented in general people houses, or it's something like government needs to set up some infrastructure where it's common for a society or common for a region, something like that? Anything that you thought about or you read about this?
Yes, sir. We think that the government should make a creation of an environmental agency, and it will be the work of this agency to educate farmers and and the ways to reduce organic waste, and they should pass laws according to decrease the waste.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. That answers my question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So Apurva and Parth, good presentation. A lot of research, literature browsing has done by you to collect all the data which you showed to us about your topic. I just have one question. You said that you also spoke to the farmers about the ill effects of this organic waste which is being created. So could you please elaborate on this? Like, what was your questions to the farmers? What queries you made and what was the response which you got?
Ma'am, they were asked, it was very difficult for us to reach the farmers. So we asked them about, is there any increase in organic waste from their farms? So they replied, because of lockdown, the transportation services are blocked. So they were not able to send their crops to market, and due to market closure, there was no customers to buy their crops. So it went in. It eventually led to increase in organic waste.
Okay. So that that was not clear to me, that how the waste created at home was affecting the farmers. Right. I got your point. Right. And I really appreciate in your presentation, you spoke elaborately about the questions you asked people, the 20 households which you had interacted with. That gave us a very clear insight, or a very clear picture of what your research was about. So that was one very good part. I think others can also take this tip from this presentation by SOS Urkeshwar to incorporate at least glimpses of some of the questions which you are asking to your participants. Thank you so much, Parth and Apurva. Nice presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, participants. Now I'd like to call upon students from School of Scholars Vanadongri, Sai Narwade and Arnav Jadhav to present their research papers.
Is our screen visible?
It was, but now it's not.
Yeah, it's visible now.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, honorable judges, respected teachers, and my dear friends. Today, me, Sai, and I, Arnav, are going to talk about something interesting. Nuclear fusion energy, source of alternate and green energy.
So, what's nuclear fusion energy? In nuclear fusion, the atomic nuclei of hydrogen atoms get forced together to form heavier atoms like helium. This produces a lot of energy, making it a very efficient source of power.
In 1930s, scientists, particularly Hans Bell, discovered that nuclear fusion was possible. A group of 35 nations, including India, came together in 2004 to build the world's largest magnetic fusion device, tokamak. As it is a carbon-free energy, it will substantially have a positive impact on the environment. Project ITER, an international nuclear fusion research and engineering mega project aimed at replicating the fusion process of the sun to create energy on the Earth.
For this, scientists put forward an hypothesis which says fusion power is a proposed form of power generation that would generate electricity by using heat from nuclear fusion reactions. If we get success in nuclear fusion energy, we can get an amount of energy through which we can also travel with the speed of light. Now, we will move toward the most important topic, what actually is the process of nuclear fusion energy. In nuclear fusion energy powers the sun and the other star. In fusion energy, two single nuclei merge together to form a heavier nucleus. This process produces energy because the mass of single nuclei is less than the mass of original nucleus. The leftover mass becomes energy. According to Einstein's equation, which is E is equal to mc square, says mass and energy can be converted into each other, explains why this process occurs. Fusion of deuterium and tritium, creating helium-4 and releasing 17.59 as mega electron volt as kinetic energy.
Now, let's talk about few assets of nuclear fusion. It barely has any waste because the only byproduct of nuclear fusion is helium, which is a non-toxic gas. It generates unlimited amount of heat. The components needed for nuclear fusion can be found or made itself on Earth. Therefore, we can use this type of energy for hundreds of years. No greenhouse gases, as earlier told, the only byproduct is helium, which is non-toxic and does not contribute in the changing of weather cycles.
So, there's also some of the drawbacks of nuclear fusion energy. It requires almost as much energy to create nuclear fusion as energy it creates, because to fuse two atoms, high level of heat energy is required. Creating the infrastructure for nuclear fusion is very expensive. According, it may be in trillions of dollars, and most of the economies wouldn't be able to afford that. There may be an unanticipated consequence to using nuclear fusion energy, as we don't know actually what will happen in hundreds of years with lot of helium gas in the atmosphere.
Now let's see how to overcome some of the drawbacks. The major drawback. A fusion experiment at the world's biggest laser facility, NIL, National Ignition Facility, released 1.3 billion joules of energy, coming close to break-even point known as ignition, where fusion begins to release more energy than required to detonate it.
The core of the sun burns at 15 million degrees Celsius by nuclear fusion of hydrogen nuclei into helium. But now, scientists have designed an artificial sun on Earth that has sustained at a temperature of 120 million degrees Celsius for 102 seconds. The experimental advanced superconducting tokamak fusion reactor designed by China burns at 8 times the sun's core temperature.
Now, let's see why nuclear fusion is more beneficial. But first, we will talk about some sources of energy. Renewable energy has many defects, like it requires basic necessities like climate, arid environment, etc. And non-renewable energy, which are fossil fuels, are very harmful for the environment because it releases toxic gases when burned. Therefore, scientists are working on a new source, which is nuclear fusion, which provides energy for a longer period of time. And it also has many advantages, like fusion doesn't emit harmful toxins like carbon dioxide or other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere.
From this, we can conclude that use of fusion energy can make the future green and pollution-free. The next decades are crucially important to putting the world on the path of reduced greenhouse gases. On the path of nuclear fusion, we will have a green and a clean future. Thank you.
Ma'am, these are some references.
Thank you, participants. Now the floor is open to questions by the keynote speakers.
Ma'am, you want to go ahead?
No, ask.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think great energy. And you guys are really very confident. Very good presentation. The flow was, you never left the flow, and it was all connected. You're connecting the dots, like what it is, and then what are the advantages, and what are the disadvantages, and then how you can do it, and what is the research going on right now. So I'm interested in, so this, I have also read a lot about this artificial sun that China is building. I follow it bit, I mean, just out of curiosity. So you mentioned that, and I recently, I remember just last month, I think there was a news saying that they have reached 5 times the temperature of sun already. So do you know what is the future plan for them? What is that they are looking at, and what are the challenges? You have mentioned some challenges. So out of them, is there something that they are facing right now? Are you aware of anything? I know it's a bit specific and a detailed question. You may have not gone into that depth, but since you brought that up, the China artificial sun, I just thought I will just ask you if you have read anything in more detail about it.
Yes. So recently, China has developed like artificial sun, which produces energy 8 times greater than the core temperature, and they are facing some of the challenges. It's very hard to control the temperature, and for only for few minutes they can produce this type of energy. But sir, if we achieve this goal, it's very beneficial for our coming future because
Definitely.
because we can use this energy for a longer period of time, and less radioactive waste is produced
Yes.
rather than nuclear fusion, and more energy than fusion.
Right, that is true. It's an unending source which is very clean if you are able to manage it. Or yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so Sai and Arna from SOS Vanadongri, a very good presentation. The flow was very good. Very confident in presenting your research work. Did you all come across any of the pilot running in any of the countries? Like you spoke about China, but it is yet to come into being on a full-fledged mode. So did you come across any research work or any work which is going on somewhere across the globe where actually it is being transmitted for the societal purpose or use this type of energy?
Yes, ma'am. In MIT, we can see that the project work is going on, but not it is fully functioned. They are trying it, and there are some of the drawbacks, as we know. So they are
As
coming
you,
across.
yeah. So you also quoted some disadvantages, and yeah, carry on. Sorry.
But ma'am, recently MIT is the most successful one. Government was trying to close it, but by their full potential, they tried that nuclear fusion would be possible, and but only for a few minutes. But they the most successful one is now MIT. And ma'am, as you know, it is very expensive. So ma'am, the whole a group of 35 nations is there for the economical one because as it is very expensive. So everybody is contributing some part of the money, some part of the economy to use this device to make it.
All right, all right. Right. So thank you so much. You are the future ones who are going to take it further and bring it for everybody to get benefited from it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now I would like to call the students of School of Scholars Hudkeshwar, Master Jace Abraham and Master Manas Kakade to present their research papers.
We are visible.
It's visible.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jace.
My name is Manas.
We are from School of Scholars Hudkeshwar, and our topic is chronicle digital transformation in education.
Abstract. Children of today have been surrounded by technology since their birth. However, not all children are ready with their technology future. So, in this study, we examine the digital transformation initiated by the COVID-19 pandemic in the basic education affect the young generation.
The hypothesis: digitalization of education reduces interpersonal interaction among students and increases the stress factor. This study investigates students' attitude and motivates towards online learning and up to what level the interpersonal interaction is hindered by digital transformation for education. It also investigates how this data transformation increases the stress factor of students.
Introduction and statement of the problem. As we all know, due to COVID-19, we all switched to online learning, whereby teaching is undertaken remotely and on digital platforms. Students must log into the online classroom as their own initiative and wait for the teacher to get instructions. And self-motivation is important for the completion of online courses.
The objectives of the study. Our objectives of the study are to understand the attitude of students and parents towards online education, understand the threats present in digitalization, and to find a commonly acceptable strategy.
Research. Our study addressed two overarching questions. First, how are the students approached towards the digital imparting of knowledge? Second, how motivated students are in online learning and are their mental well-being satisfactory?
Methodology. We have collected details of digitalization through various medias, and we had a survey through questionnaires of our colleagues to know their attitude towards online learning.
Research place. The study was conducted in the school by virtual platforms. We took permission from our class teacher and had a chat with our friends. The students of Standard 7 constitute the study population. We expected the sample population is 25.
Research instrument, data collected, primary data. For survey mental stress to be conducted, we used a questionnaire in Google Form. Link of the Google Form.
Secondary data. We collected the data from newspapers, journals, magazines, Googles, and other websites.
Graphical representation of the data. From the questionnaire, we have collected the data and we have used graphical diagrams as pie and bar chart for representing the data.
These are the important findings of our study. From the group of 10 questions, these are some important 5 questions. Like in the fourth question, what do you miss most in digital learning? 10 students said that they miss their school. 12 students said they miss their friends, and 2 students said they miss their teachers, and so on.
Analysis and conclusion of data. Even though some students are satisfied with their digital learning, some of them face mental stress and anxiety. Their mental well-being gets disturbed as they don't get any chance to interact with friends to online mode. Most of them are feeling strained. For many, it begins with eyes. The mental and emotional pressure can weaken the physical health. Anxiety and stress can lower immunity, and 32% are more likely to die of cancer. Anxiety is also related with heart disease. These are not trivial effects. These are life-altering and destructive.
Suggestions. Our suggestions are students should be active. Students should participate in the discussion like they would do in physical school. Gamifications of some lessons are needed. Students should have some physical activities like meditation, yoga, exercises, morning walk, etc.
Thank you for listening our PPT. This was guided by Mrs. Shinaji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason Manas. I think I want to thank you for picking this important topic. I think this topic has becomes very relevant with this pandemic and everybody working from home. It was really nice to see that somebody picked this topic and did so much research. You had so many graphs. I think you collected so much data point. Really commendable effort. Thank you. So first of all, let me ask you. So you have mentioned that this online thing can lead to stress. So right now you are also in this online mode. You are presenting right now. So what do you think if you would have been, we would have all been in physical in a room doing this versus you are doing it right now. What do you think would have been more stressful, or is this more stressful you feel for you guys?
Yes, no, like if we have done this in no offline mode, like we would have been
more talkative with you.
Like
we will get a chance to interact with you all,
and there will not be any issues like we don't have to become independent in internet, and we can interact with you in online when we can see you can ask us question. There will not be any problem like internet issue or voice cracking.
Right. Yeah. Good answer. Good points you raised. One was social interaction. One was, technological limitations we have, like internet bandwidth, or maybe power is not there, which are real issues in India sometimes. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for that answer.
Yeah. So Manas and Jace, real kudos to both of you for picking up such a relevant topic, which is in discussion at all levels when we talk about education. So the stress levels building up on the students due to this online platform where we are doing the education right now. So yes, there is less of human connect, which is again resulting in so many psychological issues, wherein I think students are required to be kind of, they are required and referred to the counselors for so many things which are happening. So a very nice presentation. I really I really admire the way you all showed us the graphs, your findings in a graphical manner. Every question was showed to us, and then you picked up those 5 questions and you gave us a detailed description. So that was really very, very nice. So when you why did you choose only class 7th for your research?
No, because this research was done last year. So last year we were in class 7th.
Oh, acha. No, but then even last year only one class you chose.
Yes, as it was online mode, so we were not able to interact with our friends. So we just sent the Google form with shared the Google form with them, and some of them not responded, but some given their responses.
So why there was not response from some of the people to whom you sent the was again stress was one factor?
Yes, some
like they were they were like afraid to give the answer, or like they didn't wanted to share their views.
All right. But a real good project you have taken up, and I think something more can also be done at your level. There are so many people who are already actually working on this, how to overcome this the ill effects which are being seen in the students at a behavioral level or at the psychological level. But you have taken up a very, very apt project, and I feel that you as students can create a lot of awareness. You can create a lot of positivity amongst your own classmates and your peers, that how they can overcome this problem, how they can reach out to different people. One more thing, if you can put in your research paper, or if you want to take it further, you can also give certain there are so many strategies and so many things which are coming out now, people are coming out, wherein you can increase the interaction even across the screens also. So a little bit of that also you can, I think, if you can research it, read about it, not research, yes, you can read about it, and you can make your friends and peers aware of it, just so as they can also overcome this problem if at all they are facing it. Thank you so much. It was real pleasure hearing you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all participants. As Akshay sir is having an urgent meeting, I'd first like to call Akshay Chandik sir to sum up the conference.
Thank you guys. Yeah, I'm almost kind of speechless just looking at people so young presenting. One good thing that I saw today was the topics were spread across the board. I mean, right from vaccination to nuclear fusion to organic waste, and now to digital education. I've missed one or two, but the range of topic, the breadth was so good, and it's so good to see people doing actual research. I don't even remember in our times at this age we would write questionnaires, talk to people, get answers, and then come up with graphs and analyze. So it's all analytics, right? Data analytics is a very big market and a very big thing today. If you see, you would have heard about words like machine learning, artificial intelligence. we do, like I being in computer science industry, we do use machine learning in our day-to-day jobs, and it's really the data crunching. So today there is so much of data available through social media, through digital platforms. Crunching that data is the most difficult thing, and that's what you guys have done at this young age. You are collecting the data, making sense out of that data, and presenting it so fearlessly, with so much confidence. And in the process, I think you would have learned so many things. I really want to congratulate all of you, and especially when this whole event is just organized by the student for the student, kind of a mode, which makes it more special. And you all should be very proud of yourself. Yeah, that's all. I mean, I'm not prepared anything to say. It's just impromptu, whatever is coming from my heart. I'm just saying it. I think do keep in touch. We are always there to help in case you need any help. If you feel that we can help you in any field, in field at least in which we are working. Thank you very much, and best of luck to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the appreciation and motivating words.
Sorry, I had a hard stop at 12:30, so I will have to drop out. But thank you, Anuprita ma'am, and thank you.
Thank you, Akshay. It was really nice interacting again with you. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah.
Thank you, Sati ma'am. Yeah, thank you. Thanks
you,
everyone.
sir.
Bye.
Bye bye. Have a nice one. Take care. Bye.
Now I call our keynote speaker, Ms. Anuprita Nasre ma'am, to sum up the conference.
Yes. So good afternoon to all the young achievers, our budding scientists, all the dignitaries, learned people around, your teachers, facilitators, the organizers. It was a real pleasure. So I would like to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this annual vibrant event. I would like to call this as a very, very interesting event which is conducted by Mega Group of Schools every year. It's always a pleasure to interact with the young tickling brains. So I just want to start with a question that have you ever thought about how would the world have been without any development of technology and science? So the life we are enjoying now and the things we do in minutes would not have been possible, right? And why these things happened? It is all because research has led to inventions, discoveries, development of entire gamut of technological advances and making new things which earlier somewhat looked impossible. So research means carefully analyzing the problems and to do a detailed study of specific problems by making use of special scientific technological methods. So basically the main purpose of research is to get deep into the topic so that something helpful or useful can be churned out, which is going to help the society at large. So this is an opportunity given to you on a platter wherein you can actually put in your efforts in making a very meaningful change in the society. So all the topics which you all have covered today are in that direction, and I'm very happy to see that you have covered topics from medical, non-medical, IT, social, educational, all fields almost were covered. So that was a real pleasure to see. And you also tried to find out answers to some of the relevant questions by conducting your researches. So all the young researchers who are here have followed certain steps like observation, then background research, preparing a hypothesis, and eventually conducting a simple experiment or a survey to come to some inference. So basically, research is not a very new concept to all of us. Right from the age of early humans, we are involved in this intriguing process of research. Even if you looked at our ancient scriptures or documents, like some research is mentioned there also. Like if I take the example of Charak Samhita, a 5-arm approach of research is described there also, which says Anuman, Akalan, Anubhuti, Anubhav or Praman. So ये 5 जो स्तंभ है उसके ऊपर आपका entire research process is dependent upon, right? So here also you all try to take a guess, speculate about it, estimate it, experience, feel, and then find evidences to come to a conclusion. So a lot of research studies have shown that taking up a research would help restore and protect memory, enhance mathematics, problem solving skills. So research, in short, would prepare the mind for a better understanding of concepts and theories. So a person's learning capacity is improved if they perform, and they are able to perform better than those people who are not into this research mode or research frame of mind frame. Here, I would like to appreciate the fact that Mege group of schools, the School of Scholars across Vidarbha, is giving a platform to the students to perform researches on different topics. And they are seasoning you, they are conditioning you to make to develop a mind frame where your learning and understanding of the concepts would become very thorough, and you are going to do some efficient work in the society for everybody's good. So I would like to conclude by saying that research is never a destination, but it is an ongoing journey. Right? So this philosophy would actually help us to reimagine the future, which is again the theme of your Young Achievers Conference this year. In all the circumstances, especially the hard times which we all have faced because of this pandemic, and the young scientists or the achievers like you are going to keep the spirit of research alive and come up with spectacular results, spectacular researches, spectacular inventions, which is going to benefit the mankind and the society in coming years. So thank you so much for making me a part of this entire conference. It was a real good and a very happy experience for me to be with you all. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inspiring words.
Now all the past participants will join us on Facebook Live. Thank you.
Thank you.